Welcome back in, everybody. We're getting to that fifth and final matchup right now, and we're gonna round out the day like we started it with Cookies and Connor. Let's get into it. Of course, it's Nocturnes taking on Outlast. These teams, I feel like a running story. Cookies, and we'll start with Nocturnes. Teams kind of not performing to maybe how we expected them to.
Well, you see, Brim, it's hard to perform how you're expecting when you've been dealing with the injuries that Nocturnes has been dealing with.
True.
I don't remember the last time I saw the team together without someone being out with a sprained wrist or a Disneyland trip. Mr. P, he decided he's going to Disneyland, so he missed last game. He promptly got slammed, right? I mean, it's just like I don't know what to expect of Nocturnes when they don't have their five. When they have their five, hey, they'd be one shot. They have potential. Slothy has potential to drop numbers. Nyx, we call him Nasty Nyx. Not when he's 2-8. There's nothing nasty about that on the entry. That's just not acceptable. And I'll go into that a little bit more later when we talk about the critical points. But that's definitely an issue with this Nocturnes team, though. They obviously have always had a solid.
Yeah, don't spoil foundation. Us already. You got a lot to talk about. We'll save it for the critical points.
Right.
Let's move over to Outlast, another team, Connor, on a bit of a losing streak.
Yep, this has almost felt like there were such lofty expectations for Outlast. They were on the upswing. They looked so good in Rels. They didn't drop a single map in Quals. Everybody's like, man, if you played Outlast, they are just sparking up a cigar and smoking our pack right now. They are a terrifying team. You do not want to play against them. It is oh so scary. And then they came out and they just kind of looked mid. It's been really disappointing because on their defensive side, they look so good. They look so good defensively, so sound. But those attacks have been looking really rough. And hopefully when you have both Trot and Woos firing on all cylinders together, that can really help and maybe fix some of their issues.
Well, looking mid has got them to the back of the pack right now. So I don't know, maybe mid is a bit of a compliment even for them at this point. But Nocturnes, Cookies, I'll let you get into your spiel about them now because we had to talk about Outlast real quick. So I kind of cut you off there.
You know what else is mid? Nocturnes is fragging play. It's quite literally the definition of it. It's the one main criticism, Connor, that you had. You think Slothy's a fraud. He had his one good game, right?
Yeah, I call him a fraud.
He needs to be nastier. It's just simple as that. He needs to be better. Nyx as well, right? This guy's locking Ash and Yana, all these ops. You gotta get the kills. You gotta trade better as well. I feel like sometimes it's just like someone would die from Nocturnes, especially Slothy. I know this is just a Slothy roast session right now, but the guy would die, and then there's no context, right? Early on in the round, he's just gone, no effect, no trade, and that can't happen. Obviously, they had some injuries. They're playing with Filthy. They're playing with this guy, they're playing with that guy. They need to be healthy, and it seems like they are going into this game.
Healthy, yeah. I guess they're going in healthy. We should have everybody back. What you were saying about Slothy, just kind of the overextension, it's something that we highlighted and just really drilled down stage 3 with Sykes. And now it's the same thing with Slothy with a completely different system and now 2 IGLs, but the same issue persists. And it's kind of perplexing in that way that it doesn't really make sense because it's almost a completely different team, but the same issues come out. I called Slothy a fraud. I went out there and called him a fraud. Then he drops a 20 bomb on my head. Then I say, you know what? Maybe he's good. Then he drops 2 kills and it makes no sense. Please make it make sense. Just like the Outlast attacks. Please make it make sense. None of it makes sense. It hurts my head sometimes to try to wrap around, CJ.
And I'm sure Atheno had his head hurt, when he was just bashing it because I think he went like 1-10.
Did you actually just hit your own head? That was loud.
Speaking of Nyx, I'm pretty sure he's the one that said it. Like he's like talked about he was bashing his head or something. I don't know. But yes, Atheno struggling, right? Losing his mind, just going like 1-10. It's not the Atheno we're used to seeing. He doesn't have the content creator plot armor, which is usually present in all of our favorite YouTubers that play competitive, but not him lately. He's gonna have to step it up, right? Because right now he just thinks, and I know Atheno's better than that, and I know Outlast is better than what they're showing.
Exactly. I agree wholeheartedly.
Connor, as we get into this map, Veto, 2 teams that need to re-energize and play better. As much as I hate to say it as a viewer and enjoyer, it is a simple map where these 2 teams maybe need to go to get back on track.
Um, it's a hard line to find and walk across, because sometimes when you're in a rut, you want to go back to those fundamental maps and work on it. You want to go to your clubhouse, you want to go to your Oregon. However, it's a double-edged sword where sometimes if you're not necessarily doing as much and you bring another team who's in a similar position to you to one of those maps, you're going to get burned. It might be too little too late to save things. It would have been nice for one of these teams to maybe pull out a new map. I had heard some really good things about Outlast Skyscraper through Qualls, but instead they're going to be banning it out, leaving it to a Kafe, which historically has been an insanely strong map for Nocturnes. They've beaten some very, very, very qualified teams and looked pretty dang good while doing it. A lot of the castle extensions, if their strats stay the same, were really nice, especially on their defensive side. But for Outlast, we also saw them absolutely obliterate and send Okami to the Shadow Realm on this very map.
It is nice that it seems that you've chosen a map that is maybe fundamental +1 cookies, would you say? Like, it's not quite your fundamental, but it's close. It's a storied map. It has the history.
It is a map where you're going to have to clear some power positions, and it's going to be some teamwork required. And that's one thing I'll give both these teams credit. I may question the firepower on both sides sometimes, but they both do have some solid synergy and some solid, like I said, base of operations to work off of, to clear utility and to get things done. Now, I did vote Outlast.
I would like to change mine to Outlast.
Okay.
Word? Because of the map, huh? You like this map?
I like this.
Well,
I like this map. I
here's
want to
what
see
we'll do.
Try and Woos flying out of windows, baby.
Here's what we'll do. Connor, we'll let you change your map, but what we need to do is get into the map. These players apparently are rearing to go. They want to fix their issues as bad as we want to see them fix their issues. We're finally going to a new map after 3 villas in a row. We're going to see a Kafe.
Oh, John, I mean, do we switch our predictions? Did Connor seem real?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, trying to be entertaining, do a bit. And John's like, no, just obstinate to the end. Why?
Nope.
Why are you not changing then? Why is Nocturnes going to win this, huh?
I will say
huge?
this. That's a big if, though. Come on, Carter. Although I loved seeing these guys just demolish on during Rels. Same thing as my connection to my ISP was apparently being demolished that day.
Oh, I forgot
funny
about
enough.
that. That was so funny.
Oh
for
my
me,
god,
not for
it
you.
was like I was literally on an Android casting, and with also with my camera quality too. That was horrible. But I will say this is Nocturne's game to lose, if anything, not Outlast's game to win. So if we see a lot of that rush show, because again, Nocturnes have not played with this core roster for all that long, because last week they had a bunch of other things pop up during that time frame, haven't had as many moments to kind of recuperate, then this could be a good chance for Outlast to win. But Kafe, I feel like that's going to be more or less up to the job of Outlast to have either a very dominating defensive half or just a standard attacking half, because again, could not attack to save their lives, but I'm hoping today that could change. That's a big if.
We see a Thermite ban coming out from Nocturnes. Not something I expected, especially on Kafe. Thought we might see, maybe a Mav ban instead. Perhaps a, maybe not a Hibana ban, but maybe a Mav ban to take off the board. Take down the Thatcher and the Maverick. But no. Thermite gone. Of course, we have the Mira, the Valk, and the Thatcher. We have actually, we've seen a few more bans kind of peek their way in today, so that's been nice. So a little bit of return to normalcy, but that Thermite gone will mean that basically if you, want to do any kind of hard breaching, especially on Bakery, you're probably going to have to run a Maverick. On third floor, might be prioritizing that Hibana a little bit more. Beyond that, overall, just a solid ban from Nocturnes, at least in spicing things up.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
Potentially to help out when they are defending the bottom floor of kitchen. Thermite's not that bad of an operator if you want to go for a direct Bakery take, but we're probably not going to see this Thermite ban really be all that fruitful until maybe they're on the defense and they're not going to have to worry about it. But for the time being, Outlast, they'll be on the defensive side and looking to start out on Reading Room with the same old common extension you see all the time. Looks like we might have someone actually play aggressive near either Bathroom or Pixel as well. So this top floor contention going to really be make or break for Outlast, especially if they lose somebody early on. They might have to go for a fallback earlier than what they had probably expected.
We'll see what they decide to end up going for. Also, where Nocturnes opt to push from. Of course, they're likely see them start out over on that Christmas cigar side, start making their way across long bar, trying to clear the players out from cocktail. And we'll see. There we go. Deployable shield placed very late, but not just somebody playing in bathroom, somebody playing all the way up in Pixel, playing behind some of those ADSs, and hopefully further on, maybe in Rooney Gate, some more utility as well. Hoping to maybe see somebody coming up red right now, but nobody there. Instead, Lackey sees an Rooney playing inside a dining with a very well-placed drone, albeit one spotted by the defense.
Eventually destroyed too, so that information will probably dry up later on, but Intel game is still looking quite fine for Nocturnes. They detect Athena, I would assume. If not, then they will most definitely detect him now, but oh nope, doesn't look like Sledge has any idea about that. But Athena is going to miss some vital shots, and Nyx will actually survive and can maybe utilize those kill holes to his own advantage because it does have the angle against him, but doesn't want to risk that. Will just fall back, play lower in red to stop a rotate from happening, and maybe push in a mining room if he has the intel that it's currently free.
Worried maybe the plot armor is failing Athena today. He misses a easy free kill right there. But he's got a shield to retreat behind and some utility to play off of next to it. The worst things have happened. Could be in an untradeable position, but he can still, once that gets destroyed, even go back in a bathroom, go back to pallets, really anything on that cocktail side right now. Instead, Nocturnes, they're not really focusing on him. Like, yeah, we know you're there. Gonna try to make our way into dining, get a plant down in that area, and so far, not meeting a whole hell of a lot of resistance. In fact, Poison might even going in as a Twitch smokes right next to him. First kill goes their way, though Jewel follows up with one of his own. Exod gets another. Nocturnes seem to be in a great position to put this bomb on the floor with nobody from Outlast really in a position to fight back. Athena no longer upstairs. Both him and Tra fall. Jewel joins them in the grave. The Poison drops all the way down to that bottom floor. Blank a little bit alone right now, or hoping to get some support from the Jaeger playing over on the bottom of red stairs. He instead walks un-ADS'd right in front of Laundry, and both Slothy and Lackey take their ones and their freebies. First round goes Nocturne's way, as got some initial map control, and then quickly put the bomb down inside a dining.
Yeah, they noticed how much was extended into the normal place up near the back of Cocktail, and instead they just figured, well, we could probably clear out the one person in Pixel and just hold off the cutoff angle the way no one can play for Vert to stop anyone pushing from Train, and then we can just go hop into site and go for a plant. And despite the fact there was a smoke on the board, multiple nitro cells, we didn't really have anyone directly try to stop the plant from going down after Poison won the first opening duel. And because all the default positions were still locked down by the offense, there really was nothing to stop them from running the round once the diffuser was fully confirmed to be on the floor. So Nocturnes taking a very straightforward round win, and now they have to try their best on the attack heading into Double Kitchen, with that range breach being opted off of the Habana, now onto an Ace, potentially opting for more of a direct take, especially now the Sledge is being swapped off onto a Flores 2 card.
And right now, they also don't have to worry about any kind of hard breach denial coming out from Outlast. So even if they, wanted to go for a direct, if there were a Cade or a Mute on the board, they'd have to bring that Maverick unless they wanted to fully rely on nades, which for this site, in a direct, not something you can very easily do. Probably have to get vertical if you wanted to go that way. But here, no Mute, no Cade. You can just use that Ace, open up that Bakery wall, and as you said, go for that direct in through Bakery. They would have to play through and around that shield placed currently inside of Bakery. I believe that's a Jewel playing behind it? Is that Woos? It's Jewel playing behind it. I guess thankfully nobody's outside of Bakery, so he's okay for right now.
Right now. I need to fall back
True.
earlier than expected, though. For right now. It's not a bad idea because you got the 1.5, but definitely having the, I guess the security, the safe of mind that you're not going to lose your yokais on the board and only have Athena with that denial could be dangerous, and Athena's dead. Okay, then. Because he was trying to go and hold, and he was trying to hold VIP while getting beautifully flushed out by Nocturnes and not having all that much to stop him for a grenade, except maybe a couple ADSs, but I think more of them were expended for Bakery instead. So that kind of backfired. Lackey's just in the middle of dining near the VIP doorway. He kills Tra. 5 versus 3, and really nothing's working out for Outlast right now.
This has been a hell of a round so far, if I do say so myself. Slothy tags on for 3, and Woos upstairs right now, spots one outside their repel. Woos is now the only one left alive, and... oh, wait, no, he's not dead.
Oh?
Thought he was going to die. Just exchanged a few coarse words with Nyx, drops down, and now he's dead. All right, flawless round for Nocturnes. And John, if these are the defenses we're getting out of Outlast, I think CJ and Connor might look a little fraudulent by the end of the day.
No. It is not over just yet. I will say that.
That's why I said
But-
if these are representative, of the rounds we're going to get. I didn't say they will be.
Right. See?
It's a conditional. Could be wrong.
See, that is why I like you, Carter. You don't go for any outlandish takes. You like to keep things simple. Nice to have.
You call me dumb?
No, I'm not. That is not true.
Call me dumb.
I think you're overcomplicating stuff. You're breaking away from the mold I was just saying you were good with. It's not a good look for you here, mister. But not a good look for Outlast so far either, to be fair. Their extensions completely backfired. I just don't think they had enough utility. If you want to extend both into Bakery and also extend into VIP, probably should bring a Romai as well. Just a Jaeger for both spots and maybe some Aruni Gates here and there, that's not going to cut it. But hey, maybe having the castle here for this extension and a bar and cocktail, that could be sufficient enough. But Nocturnes, they also have plenty of utility to play with, so really any team's game, especially depending on how effective the early game position can be.
Just realized that Outlast have 1 kill. That's it.
It's Jewel.
No point there. Just there's 1 kill that Outlast have managed to get in 2 rounds.
Just stating it.
I figured, just state the facts. Just get it out there. Hopefully, maybe we get 2 this round. That'd be super cool. See, Woos pushed very far up inside a cocktail. They think this is actually pretty much the same setup they were running in relegations. Coincidentally enough, we saw Woos playing a lot of the times very far up inside of Christmas like he is right now. And, well, it's always a bit of a risky position. Once the utility gets burned, if you are still playing up that far, you get naded, get shot. A couple spots in that rappel. Something you got to worry about, especially playing there.
Carter, do you remember Blank running Doc shotgun and also Oryx shotgun?
I
in this
do
exact
remember
same
that.
position?
I forgot about
Yep.
that. Oh, he's playing
memories
Oryx
just
shotgun.
came-
Ha ha ha.
Yep. All the memories just came flooding back when I saw Blank rocking the spaz again. But this time around is just kind of one-man arming in right now. And we don't have, I believe it is Okami on the enemy team. It's
They're
not
dropping.
so they should be able to clear this out pretty effectively. There
They
goes
are-
the grenade. And when
John,
you're
they
dealt
are
with
dropping
by a-
Skylight.
Oh,
They are in
yeah,
the site.
Okay, well,
It is
that
a
was the biggest bait and switch. Oh my god, this is just not working out. Athena gets his 1, but
Let's go with
that was
Thanos.
just it's just the complete wraparound caught not only Outlast off guard, but caught me off guard. I'm glad you're here, though. You detected that immediately, but unfortunately, Athena does not have the same intuition as you, and now he's in a 1v4 post plant. Very low on health, trapped by his own castle barricades, and yeah,
Life
this
comes at you
does
fast.
not look like. Yeah, this is not gonna be around for Athena. I would safely assume that. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Poison.
For those keeping count at home, Outlast are now on 2 kills in 3 rounds. And these rounds have not been great. Good time for a timeout, if I do say so myself.
That's nice.
I'm I like to think of myself as a bit of a Rainbow Six aficionado. I'm not the smartest guy. I feel like, I can hold my own. I feel like 3 rounds in a row, only able to get 2 kills, and your sight pressure basically collapsing the moment it comes under any semblance of pressure. Probably a good time to take a tactical timeout, I do say. I mean, like, in all seriousness, like, to not meme around, for Outlast, it has been that last sentence that I just said. Nocturnes haven't even really been clearing out roams all that much. It's the moment they've even blown on the site. They've just, thrown some wind in their direction. It just crumples completely.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone on site just falters in, like, biblical fashion. So, I'll be honest, I don't even know how you fix it. Because it just seems like they're losing their ones on, like, an unbelievable basis. Because it's not like they're not playing next to each other. Maybe there's some lack of intel. It just seems like they're getting smoked.
It's just Outlast are playing 2 default right now. They are just playing literally textbook definition of default. They are doing the standard, we're going to extend into VIP and have somebody play Bakery, and then they have the
pixel
Rooney for
shield.
Humidor. Yeah, they are just playing way too default against a team that will punish you for only playing default. You have to be more creative than Nocturnes. They've got some of the best brains in CL right now. They've got Poison. They've got Nyx. Like, they have people that have dry run probably thousands of times beforehand in the past and are very innovative
Poison,
in what they
definitely.
want to come up with. So if you're going to just play default against them, you got to have good gunners. And right now, Outlast, they aren't gunning, like you mentioned, not winning their fights. So only playing default and not really adding much after that. There's no build-up. It's giving Nocturnes freebies.
I mean, that's one of the biggest complaints about this new Outlast roster since, Genesis departed and, the other one left the team. Is who is really going to step up and take that? We saw Tra and Woos come on the board, and, Tra has had a lot of good games. Woos has been a bit hit or miss. This, dead silence. Neither of them are on the board, and Tra was their most consistent performer by a wide margin leading into this. Now, not so much. Consistent in that he just hasn't been able to do anything. The Bakery defense going forward here. See, Nocturne switch things up a little bit, bringing the Ying as well, but also more of a focus on going for a full clear of the map. So this is a good opportunity for Outlast to start getting some of those kills, getting a little bit aggressive, and stopping Nocturnes from, well, getting their plan underway.
Nick's already dropped him down. Had plenty of intel from Exod, and he even has backup via the Finca. So things are really looking seamless for Nocturne so far, especially since Jewel is now going to make that decision of maybe falling back. Not fully confirmed about it. Oh, did he not get droned white? Oh, no, he did. They spotted his head over the stairwell, so Lacking's going to get that free one on a Jewel. And at this point, I don't think there really is much of a roam game left to stand either. So Vert's going to go down at a very good time for Nocturnes as well. And they've got that man advantage, so already a fantastic start once again for the attacking side.
See how they can improve from here. Well, Nocturnes or Outlast. I guess you could twist that statement either way if you wanted to. For Outlast, they've just all retreated, ceded that control of the top and middle floor, said, all right, you win. You took down Jewel. We'll take our L and move on. Here, thankfully, they still have a lot of that utility on the site. Have that C4, which I believe might be pre-placed against the ceiling. They also have those toxic canisters as well. And with Nick just opening up these holes, it's not like they're doing anything, wild. But once these Candelas come through, that's when I'm afraid that Outlast are going to just get completely lost in the sauce.
Minutes ago, have the can opener, the secondary hard breach, get one of the back hatches. Atheno gets down through vert holes, I would assume, but, or that or a grenade. Yep, no, it's actually the vert holes. Nyx will now finish off Atheno. A nade now gets tossed, and it connects on a blank. Not able to dodge it, smoke gone, leaving just Tra and Woos left to stand. Another 5 versus 2, and really a lot to try to finish off here for Outlast, and they're just not in a good position to do so.
Sadly, more of the same going into round 4, as everyone on site has completely fumbled when it comes to utility coming through. But Woos and Tra both finally getting active, getting a kill on the board each. But one is now down, though Tra has control of the diffuser. He's gone prone behind inside a bunker, and he's spotted breakdancing, and unfortunately, Slothy cuts him down. So, 2 impactless kills moving on in. Tra and Woos, the duo, both getting something, but still not really that much in the aggregate for Outlast.
So far, the timeout. Not doing all that much for Outlast. But again, it was just the default there. Even better team play for Outlast could have potentially scored a refrag. Yet it was just Jewel by himself, doing the standard thing of you either play Vigil or you play the Jaeger, you roam the top floor, and if you need to fall back, you do, or if you work a pick, so be it. And he was just really relying on the fact that Nocturnes would miss drone, which that's not a team who's going to miss drone or really miscommunicate, especially when they have their core 5 on the board. Maybe if, Filthy was there and Poison was still out in Disney, that could be a different story, but that's not the case right now. They're at their core 5. They're at their strongest point they can be at, and Outlast just don't seem to be playing in a style where that's going to really challenge Nocturnes in a meaningful way. I mean, that's been proven already with a 4-0 scoreline, but at the moment, it just seems like nothing is really going to change at a right time for Outlast.
I hope it does.
I hope so too.
I want to be honest. I was wondering if I had anything else after that, but really, I don't. Outlast just has provided nothing. Nothing really to talk about other than how badly they're performing. They're not, again, I think you mentioned this earlier. Their setups, not inventive. Well, Woos might get something here. He lets not 1, not 2, but 3 players all slip by him. There we go, spots 1. Boom! Exot taken off the board. That is something we needed to see. Outlast looking not like non-playable characters, but like actual players in the lobby. That's what we needed to see from them.
Innovation. There it is. Adding a little bit of spice in life. Doesn't hurt anybody. Except maybe Exot. He might be allergic, I suppose. So flank watch gone. That can help the roam game thrive later on. But like I mentioned this earlier in our last best of one, just because you have the opening duel, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You have to continue onward and hope you don't start throwing bodies at the problem completely, because you don't really need to. You could theoretically go for the trade game and play a bit more passive, even if you do have to give up a little bit of map control. Just hold down the standard stuff, and you should be fine. Azino could even go for like an earlier fallback, perhaps, just to guarantee he can help out the Mozzie player who's still on this top floor. That wouldn't be a bad idea, especially because how powerful the vertical is. Only thing to worry about is that with Nocturne's lineup, I mean, they could still theoretically go for more of a fireplace push. They just wouldn't have a direct option into fireplace that wasn't just through the funnel part of that chimney. But oof, great time C4 by Jewel, and this round looks to be more in the books for Outlast. Apparently they've got the 5-on-2.
Yeah, where the hell was this Outlast the past few rounds? We see Woos getting active, Slothy, potatoing some shots a little bit. Athena was able to take good advantage of that. Now they actually have done something. Athena gets down, sure, but maybe in a... Nope, never mind. Not in a position to be revived. He was on that top floor. But Outlast not getting ahead of themselves. They pre-placed that C4, hoping that somebody from Nocturnes will step over it. They, too, the attack, are not trying to trip themselves up. Taking a little bit of time to get some of this utility and some of these angles opened up.
Minute to go. Nade's going to miss. Still having Finka boost and a couple nades is not going to be that big of an issue for Nocturnes. They could just kind of play passive a bit, still work vertical. They got plenty of time, no more nitro cells to deal with. Jewel is going to actually just ignore the nades somehow and still play in laundry. But 40 seconds left. I mean, if we have Nocturnes maybe win more fight, this could potentially be it for them. They spot out Jewel, very low in HP. There's the tag team by both Lackey and Nyx. Great team cohesion, and now things are equalized for the final 30.
Oh, no. I don't like where this is going, John. Like, zoinks. What are we going to do? The Fuser might be dropped outside. There's only 22 seconds left. But if Lackey just checks right, this is it. The 1v2. But Tra catches him off guard. The Finka not looking. There we go. The Nyx picks up one. Please don't do it. You almost had it. The 1v1. You let it come down to this. Tra's trying to get the hell out of dodge. He doesn't want to take the fight. Doesn't want to choke the round. But his Nyx peeks around the corner. He sees the head. He crouches in time. Can he land the shots? Oh, no. How do you let that one slip past? You had it. The 5v2. And you disappoint me, son. You disappoint me.
Nightmare. Nyx, oh my goodness. That was a great play.
Man.
I mean, at that point, you didn't want to get caught in ring around the rosy there. So vaulting up on the mining station was a great call by Nyx. But oh man, Outlast. They should have had that round. At one point, Carter. I mean,
no timeout now.
You were here for me. Yeah, no timeout. Tragic, huh? Well,
tragic, no L. Actually, no, there probably is an L coming.
That was a good one.
Scratch that one. I did not make that one up. That's not, I did not coin that.
Oh. It's too bad. That is something you would say last second on the fly.
The sad thing, too, is that the time, when they took their timeout, it was solid. They lost 3 rounds in a row. They looked abhorrent. And they took a timeout to try and bring that back. The problem is, that round is a chalker. That round is a mental chalker right there. Lost a 5v2 in that fashion when it came down to the 1v1. I mean, I'm sure these players have played together a lot, but especially after the terrible performance they've had up to this point, I wish they had another timeout to try and bring the mental back after that one. Because that's not the kind of play where you come away and you're like, yeah, I feel fulfilled after that round.
Especially after losing round 5, that's a big shocker. Woos, fantastic spawn peek. Nobody saw it coming. That's his one. Still had the roam game, be pretty strong. Just fell back at a normal time. Had nitros to play with. It was literally 5v2 going into 4v2. That should have been the win for Outlast. Yet they somehow toss it. Because they let Nocturnes play together as a team, and oh man, Nyx even wins the opening duel 7-1 right now. This guy is just unstoppable, and that one X factor you had to start off in the right direction, completely gone. He's now on cam duty for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah. Unfortunately for everybody else, again, to borrow a term from CJ, it's just been a bunch of traffic cones this entire game. I would say, hey, maybe we can see the guy playing behind Pixel, get active. Take some fights. Try and take some risks. But I'm just not confident at this point that Atheno can win them. Same with Tra. Normally, who I can always rely on to be the rock for Outlast, the one who's always there when they need him to get aggressive, get those kills, bring rounds back. I can't even say that he can show up and do it. So, what are we to do? As Nyx rips open the hole on Cocktail Balcony, and Jewel goes down as well, what is going to happen in the next minute 40? Potentially Blank going for the play. That's going to convince me that Nocturnes are not about to step on match point.
Well, Blank had to kind of move back up because he tried pre-firing. Lackey is going to get rid of Atheno. It's a 5 versus 2. Blank's off site, and Tra is... I'm not sure where Tra is, but the flash actually doesn't work out.
Okay.
Blank connects at least onto one. Doesn't finish off the other one with the revolver, though. Another stun comes flying in through. There's at least Tra to isolate a couple. 2 versus 2. Case now dropped. Babe play for range. Nyx is soon to fall as well, leaving just Slothy. 1 versus 2. Let's hope this one's on a throw, though. Down goes the Kaid. One more to find, but there's the swing at just the right time. And apparently Carter seemed to be a bit of a profit, as we do have the win, favoring Outlast. But really... should they have won that?
All right. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to say, though, right? It is my duty as a North American Challenger League Rainbow Six commentator, when I flamed Outlast like I did the first 5 rounds, I have to flame Nocturnes for that, too. What was that? I mean, what was Lackey doing? Nyx flashes the stairs, and then Lackey sprints into the flash. And dies. What was he going to do? Stab him? When he had no sight? And then when Nyx tries to push up, he ends up dying later on. But then at the same time, Lackey has that odd play on White Stairs. Tra also, I said, he's the rock for this team. He's the shining light I turn to when the night is dark. He gets an incredible double kill inside a Cocktail that single-handedly brings that round back, because Nocturnes had control of the entire site. And he gets both those kills. So it was a combination of a really good individual play by Tra, and also Nocturnes pushing White in the most inefficient way possible.
10 seconds remaining.
It's what I mentioned earlier, jokingly enough. It isn't Outlast's game to win. It's Nocturne's game to lose. Now, don't get me wrong. 5-1 to 6-0. Not a big difference. But if the match was a little bit closer, if Outlast had won the round prior to round 6... then maybe something not to scoff at, because after that timeout, basically smoother sailing. But also need to take into consideration, Outlast are now on the attack, and their track record on this half has
incredible,
not
fantastic,
been
unimpeachable.
Been probably the opposite of the remarks you made. Very inadequate and
some would
worrisome.
say impeachable.
Well, yeah, maybe not the greatest wordplay, but have to let it slide. Whereas, Nocturnes not afraid to really do anything that outlandish.
Like you said, I'm simple.
Things are not looking all that fantastic for Outlast unless they've somehow overnight had some sort of miracle occur to them and their attacks are looking much better.
Not necessarily overnight. They've had a solid week. Hit the dry runs.
Yeah, that's true.
Hit the combine. Get their stuff sorted out. They could certainly do it here. All right, well, 2 people drop new Balk, and Tra just gets away with it. Not how I expected this round to start, but I guess it's working out so far as he gets a 2-piece. Just, again, dropping new Balk, gets 2 kills off of it. So far, Tra has showed up for his team, and I can at least respect that. Poison hunting for this kill and just barely gets it, drops Case outside. And here's Tra once again. He's showing up. Can anybody else stand up, please?
Seems to be Tra the trade man right now. Able to keep his team afloat. 2 versus 3. And at least the case has been recovered now by Outlast. They have Sledge alive, but no hard breach. So they could play for Vert if they want to. They have the time to do that, and they've got time to drone, but they don't have a hatch drop, so they will more or less have to either work their way from reception / red stairs into the double door leading into site, or they go for a bakery take. So either way, not the best position overall for Outlast, but they have the man advantage, and if they just take their time to drone in the final 50 seconds, things should be okay.
That is true. They have still plenty of drones active. Well, 3 active, but still you can make that work in a 3v2. Exile's got 1 C4. They can bait that one out. They're looking okay. Sledge can open up this wall. Got to somehow burn through that Aruna gate. But they got a Gemini replicator and 4-8. Just throw one in there. You don't need it anymore. Now you can start making your way inside of the site. Try to do just that, but oddly enough, he's the one with the bomb. The only guy who can get kills has the bomb. Thankfully for them, the C4 misses, though, and his nade almost lands on target. We're back at the 2v2. Exod can just spot him, and again, Tra, your top fragger, is the one with the bomb. But now Woos is in the 1v2, so he's got to try to somehow clutch this one up with little to no intel. Got some information that Exod's on the opposite side of the wall, but Nyx cleans him up. I want to emphasize again, Tra, the only one positive, the only one in that round who got kills was the one with the bomb.
Well, you know, with a minute 10, Carter, they didn't have time to give the diffuser to somebody
Literally
else.
just switch it. Just drop it. There's a dude behind you.
Tra had to be the one to
I
do
don't
everything
care
that
if
round.
Tra is quite literally our Lord and Savior come back to Earth when it comes to putting that bomb on the floor. That man needs to have his gun up right now.
Oh, man. Could have been a 4K, too, if the nade had landed.
That was a
1v2.
close nade. That was a close nade.
Probably wouldn't have, yeah, very close nade. I can't say the same about the Nitro cell. Might have been a little short, but it happens. But, yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable risking that with Tra. He's the only one hitting stuff, and he's been fantastic with the trade game. And we had the filthiest pixel angle being watched. I don't even know, speaking of watching, what the Ayana was looking at. Because there was hard information on Cade playing there, but I don't even know what the Ayana was looking at, to be honest. Maybe expecting someone walking from, like, prep window, maybe? I can't confirm, really.
Well, we'll go to mining and dining. It's potentially our final site between Nocturnes and Outlast. See how this one pans out, I suppose. Nocturnes going all the way up to that top floor. Ooh, interesting. Actually reinforcing the train hatch. Did not expect that one. Thought they might leave that soft. Maybe allow for some rotations, especially since they're holding up top, but no. Reinforced instead. Does make rotating back a little bit harder, especially if Outlast opt to clear you out, but hey. See if it works. They are pretty much creating a Fort Knox on the top floor, so might be part of their strategy.
Never really know with these guys, so I'd have something fancy be brewed up. Laggy might go for a Nitro toss. Yeah, he's thinking about it. Here's the audio up above, too. First hatch is opened up. Maybe expect it prematurely. There it goes. Is it going to land? Oh, yeah. Down goes Woos. Zofia gone. Great lineup there by Lackey. And doesn't look like anyone's there to punish.
I actually don't think I've seen that C4 work in quite a while. I've seen dozens of people go for it. It's not not a complex lineup, but I don't think I've actually seen anybody make that work in a while, so unlucky, I guess. See how Outlast try to come back from this. They'll send out, I believe, one, maybe even two nades down below, but don't find anything. I think just one nade. Saw Tra cooking one as well. Put it back in his pocket. Tra also got a 3K from this position in the previous round. Hopefully they have info on the... Nope, never mind. It looks like they did, but Lackey won it anyway. Again, unlucky. GG go next. We'll try this one. There we go. Tra gets a kill through the bar itself. It's the only thing going for Outlast in this round.
I don't know why they just wanted to go immediately rush in, though. They've got a minute 40 when they went and hopped in. They could have had somebody maybe go for nades underneath, someone on the window repel across the map. Anything to not just walk up into a crossfire like that with both the Mute and Maestro would have been better. But they hop in and can go for Vert if they want. Decent time. Oh, Exod is still in the room, too. I don't think they know he's in ticket right now. This actually could be a big flank.
John, I don't want to make a leap, but I don't think they know he's there either.
Just it's an impression that we get right now. Oh yeah, they've got no idea.
Well, believe unfortunately the sledge is dead, man. There goes Tra, and there goes Exod on his escape route. Nobody can bring him back. John, I don't want to be Mr. Captain Obvious, but Tra is now gone, and it's a 4v2. I don't want to say this is over. I want to, give my respect to Outlast. But with how poor everyone's been performing, I don't really know, especially in a 2v4, which are already hard to come back from anywhere on the attack, how this one's going to pan out. Blank vaults right in front of the Maestro, loses most of his health, but hey, Joel gets a nice angle onto Poison, aiding Blank's entry into Reading. Problem is, Reading is not the site, actually, it's mining and dining, so might have to make a little bit of an on-the-fly adjustment here, Blank even opening up the white wall with only 10 seconds left. Probably not going to detonate in time, might have to just run on through the doorway. Slothy has the angle held and takes down the Hibana as a result, and bam, there you go. 7-1 scoreline for Nocturnes, and gonna be real, really don't think Outlast showed up beside Tra. It's not a
No.
great performance.
I would have to agree. Well,
Not
you
not
know,
great.
I expected with Nocturnes not having a lot of time to play with each other and their full roster and
No,
like
but-
have a
but
lot of time to
Might be
scrim.
some
I
gaps
thought-
that they got going into the day. That's the way you
I
said.
thought, I thought maybe there'd be like some mistakes and Outlast, they know what their problems are. We've been harping on them every broadcast that like they need to fix their attacks, need to fix like the general play style, and hasn't changed still. After another week, is it ever gonna change? Maybe. I don't know, but today it clearly did not change, and
Well-
Nocturnes were fully willing to punish because of that.
I can say this. That's enough for John and I tonight. Throw it back over to the desk. But my take on that game, I'll be real. Outlast were just getting smoked. Like, it just looked like they could not do a single thing they wanted to. Maybe the desk will disagree, but that's why they do the analyzing, and I get to go to sleep.
This was a tough one to watch. I don't think there's any way around it. And Cookies, I mean, can we say look at silver lining? Like, Traw played well, but Outlast just did not come to the table prepared.
Believe me when I make this statement. Okay, I'm a man of exaggeration, but that may have been one of the most sorry performances in the since Face It moved to competitive Rainbow Six Siege and the North American League Challenger League division was established. That may have been one of the sorriest games I've ever had to sit through and watch. I don't know if it seed apps? Seed apps? Let me see your face right now. Show me your face. Do they scrim?
I don't know.
When's the last time you saw a 5-1 after attack?
That was a rough
Win.
one because it's not even like they were necessarily playing. Like, you can't say like, oh, if they were shooting better. It was everything. It was their positioning was off. There was weird op selections that like maybe worked one or two times before but hasn't been consistent enough. Their use of castle was questionable at best. There were some weird extensions that once again didn't make sense. And when you leave gigantic gaping holes in the middle of your strats and you have somebody like Poison and Nyx that literally drones during prep phase and looks at it and goes, hey guys, we can just walk at them and take sight because they have a castle. They have just a castle we can break and take control of everything because for some reason Outlast thinks that we're not going to break the castle.
I picked them to win. Is the crazy part. That might be the worst. That might be the worst predictions I've ever made. I'm not gonna lie. I own up to it. It to the Nocturnes coaching staff that's probably Joker laughing at me right now for ever doubting them.
I
sorry.
went off of the principle
sorry.
of, hey, Papa P has left. They haven't scrimmed all week.
That too.
Outlast could scrim all week. They want to grind. They look like they have the pieces, and then they decided to throw away the whole puzzle.
I'm done with this. Please tell me we have an interview, Brim.
We
because
do
I'm
have
done.
an
There's
interview
nothing
ready.
more to say.
I will be your salvation. I will be your savior right now. We are going to bring in Poison for the interview. Poison. So, first off, I don't want to take away from your victory. You guys played a great game. Congratulations.
Thanks.
But did as well as you guys did play, did it feel a little sloppy from the side of Outlast? How did this game play out on your side for the Nocturnes?
I mean, we always play like kind of like gritty siege, but like we didn't expect to go like as smoothly. Like just by our style of play, like usually we don't play like the cleanest type of siege, but it kind of ended up like being clean in the scoreline for the most part. I mean, we like that one round we had a 2v5 that we somehow won, and then we kind of threw like a 5v2, and that was the one where we lost. So probably could have been a 7-0 for us, which is surprising. Usually it's like not really how our playstyle ends up being for us, but
Now, here's like the weird part. When you have a match like this, obviously Nocturnes not having the season overall that maybe they hope, like you guys hoped you would have had, and you want to improve and get better. Does a match like this, although you'll obviously take the win and take the points, do you feel like you guys got much out of this match and took this as an opportunity to get better?
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think every match day is like improving for us. I mean, we had a pretty I don't think our season's been as bad. We were in 10th place before this game. I don't really think we're a 10th place team.
Mhm.
The first weekend we played, we had 3 games. We played Elisar, One
Yeah.
Shot, and Carnico. All 3 pretty solid teams, like good like top tier CL teams, I would say. I mean, we only got 3 points out of that, but like, so I don't think that was like a terrible weekend for us, just kind of average. And the next weekend we had like 2 subs for one game and then 1 sub for the other game.
Yeah.
So I think we're back to full 5 here, and I think we could finish off the season pretty strong. So that's what we're trying to do.
So what's the plan for you guys moving forward on improving? What are some of the things that you guys do want to work on now that you are all back together?
I think we're just trying to like have more fun when we play and play more with confidence. 'Cause I think sometimes our practices like we don't have fun. We gotta have fun playing the game and enjoy it. So I think that's the
Mhm.
biggest thing for us: having fun, staying loose, and being confident.
Well, that was a fun game to watch. It was fun to see you guys
It's fun to play.
take it take it to Outlast like that. So congratulations again on the win, and hopefully we'll be talking a bit more in the coming weeks.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you.
Have a good one, Poison.
Thank you too.
Yeah, that's a tough way to assess. So let's talk about Nocturnes for a quick second before we wrap up the day. So Connor, I'll pose the same question to you that I kind of posed to posed
Words are
to
hard.
Poison. Wow, posed to Poison. That's a lot more difficult than you think it might be. What do you do? What do you take away from a game that is almost handed to you?
You didn't throw it.
Yeah.
That's a big positive. Sometimes you just gotta accept the gifts, and sometimes when you're West Garfield Park and everybody else is getting a free 3 points and you take them to overtime, you start kicking yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But for Nocturnes, they came out and they took care of business. You cannot fault a team for coming out and beating the team that was ahead of them. You're like, oh, maybe I wish it was another team, but you can only beat the team that you're scheduled to play against. They came in, they took care of business, looked clean while doing it. Not really any flaws. Maybe like 1 mishap, but whatever. You lost 1 Kafe attack. Nothing is really gonna be bad about that. And you still got an insanely good split. Went over your offensive side, just overall took care of business.